Hi, I'm Linz. Welcome to Becoming Everwell, a channel where we talk about the ongoing journey of becoming. I'm a former high school English teacher who believes that an education extends far beyond academics. And I write stories that highlight life learning, moments of clarity that come about in the pockets of life. In today's piece, we're considering why fandom matters. I make sense of life by writing about real everyday stuff that makes us who we are. Some of these snapshots are fun, some are more serious. Maybe they'll open up something in you too. Let's grow. My teenage dancer of a daughter has been known to mutter, "Can we just talk about anything besides baseball for once?" at our dinner table. And although we talk about other things too, youth baseball dominates my home's airwaves. Baseball season is typically designated to spring, but as those involved in youth sports know, any sport can easily become a traveling year-round endeavor should one opt in. And we've opted in for both of my sons. But my daughter's palpable annoyance with our baseball talk has had me at times worried that she perceives us as those dreaded, overly zealous parents of an athlete. You know, those parents who are deceptively competitive, disturbingly strategic, and entirely too intense about their kids' athletic progression. Our community is rife with them. Objectively, I'd like to think that I'm more of a baseball devotee than an obsessed parent, but again, there's nothing quite like the critical feedback of a teenage daughter to keep me the slightest bit insecure. But the reality is that both my sons love baseball, and as their parents, my husband and I, both former collegiate athletes and huge sports fans in general, are invested. I love games of all kinds, always have, and I believe that healthy competition is great for one's growth. And their baseball teams have allowed me to live out my dream as a ballpark DJ, so there's that. Earlier this past summer, a tournament took our family to Rhode Island, and because my daughter had no better plans, she begrudgingly tagged along. While there, jockeying between her brother's games all weekend alongside me, I noticed a subtle shift exposed itself. She seemed to care. Like she brought a book with her with the intention of reading on the sidelines and never cracked it open. And she started asking clarifying questions about the rules. And we'd be at one brother's game and she'd ask to check the app that would update us on the other brother's game at another field. No doubt, a tough attitude from a fifth wheel would have soured the weekend, especially in our tight motel room. But instead, she shone as a champ of a sibling. After one of the games, she commented somewhat incredulously to me, "I can't get over how many people here have faith in him," referring to her brother. "I had no idea people cared about him like this," she said to me. This was her little brother, after all, the same one who couldn't manage to lift the toilet seat most of the time in their shared bathroom. Her observation that he was capable and respected intrigued me, in the same way that I'm fascinated to see her brothers in the audience while she's dancing on point in her annual Nutcracker performance. They gaze at her, wide-eyed, exuding awe and admiration for such an unfamiliar skill set. Although she clearly embraced the baseball spirit that weekend, I kind of assumed it was a finite sister being a trooper kind of thing. So later in the summer, when we road tripped to Tennessee for a week-long tournament for her youngest brother, I wasn't sure how she'd deal with many days in the heavy southern heat, watching baseball games nonstop. Although we made it a multi-purpose trip by framing it with some college visits for her sake and by hitting up Dollywood, of course. It was hard to hide the fact that baseball was a priority. But surprisingly, as the team began their week of competition, and as other siblings opted to wander, go outlet shopping, or stay back in the hotel's AC, all things she was invited to do, instead, she chose to be part of the team's doings. The warm-ups, the games, and the post-game endeavors. By day 2, she spoke about the team with the possessive pronoun we and wanted to talk strategy. By day 3, she insisted that we all get to bed early to ensure adequate rest. And by day 4, she led her brother in his morning stretching and visualization routines. At the end of the trip, and as we toured the third college campus of the week, she wistfully commented that whatever college she attends, she wants it to be her forever team to cheer for, with a rah-rah baseball vibe. Being careful not to make obvious to a teenager what was becoming obvious to me for fear of squelching the authentic thing that was growing within her, I enjoyed quietly observing her become a spirited sports fan. And now back home and with the MLB and the Little League World Series on the Family Room TV, she'll opt to plant herself on the couch with the rest of us, following the plays and cheering throughout the action. And believe it or not, when baseball talk comes up, as it often does, at our table, she's now curious and engaged. Whenever I write about my kids, I float my ideas by them first to get their permission. And when I mentioned to her that her budding fandom inspired me, she smiled and invited it. She's proud to now identify as a baseball fan. And when I probed, she described loving the feeling that we're all in it together, win or lose. She welcomes the electricity of a fan base's collective energy. It gives her that magical sense of belonging to something bigger than herself. In life's grand scheme, fandom could seem silly, unnecessary, or excessive. But I believe that being a fan matters. Fans are consumed with passion, loyalty, admiration, connection, hope, and energy. All incredible things to feel and to experience in others. So let my daughter be a life teacher for you, as she's been for me. Whether you're a fan of a team, a sport, a hobby, an art form, a style, a flavor, a place, a performer, or something else, go on and be the groupie, super fan, or diehard you're inclined to be, and enjoy the fulfillment and fun of it. Let's keep growing. I'm Lindsay Hurdy. Learn more about me and my offerings on my Substack, lindsayhurdy.substack.com. You may not know that in addition to publishing my own writing, I help people with all kinds of important letters and documents, from college essays to end-of-life love letters. Learn more at foreverletterwriting.com. I'd love to support your writing too. Whether you're here for help with writing or a desire for inner fulfillment coaching, which I offer, or for the quiet life learning that may accompany my stories, I'm grateful that you found this spot in the web, and I hope you'll keep coming back. I'm sheathing you in blue, and if you don't know what that means, check out my video called The Perfect Blue and learn all about it. Until next time. Be sure to like and subscribe and click that bell to get alerts for new posts. I'd be ever grateful.